Ever noticed how some men demand attention while others remain silent, but still get it? There's a reason for that. In social dynamics, power is usually loud, commanding, dominant, in your face. But then, there's a different kind of power. The kind that doesn't shout, doesn't compete, but still wins. This is where the Sigma male comes in. He doesn't challenge authority, yet authority feels threatened by him. He doesn't seek status, yet people respect him. And no one struggles with this paradox more than alpha males. Alphas are used to leading, controlling, and standing at the top of the hierarchy. But Sigmas, they don't follow the script. They move differently, think differently, and live by their own code. And that's exactly why alpha males can't handle them. In this video, we'll break down the real reasons why Sigmas unsettle alphas. It's deeper than just personality differences. It's about power, control, and the unshakable confidence that Sigmas carry. Before we start, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. It takes just a second, but it keeps us motivated to create more content like this. Now let's get into it. 1. Sigmas don't play the social hierarchy game. The alpha male thrives on hierarchy. He's at the top, with followers beneath him. Every interaction is a battle for dominance, a test of strength, a way to establish control. But here's the problem. Sigmas don't care. They don't fight for dominance, but they also don't submit. They simply step outside the system. Imagine an alpha walking into a room. He sizes up the competition, makes his presence known, and expects others to react, either by challenging him or falling in line. But a Sigma, he just doesn't engage. He moves through life unaffected, ignoring the power struggles that consume others. And this confuses the alpha. He's used to people either respecting him or fearing him. But a Sigma, he doesn't fear and he doesn't admire. He just exists on his own terms, unaffected. This is where the real conflict begins. Alphas are conditioned to lead. They rely on the fact that people want structure, leadership, and someone to look up to. When they see a man who doesn't need guidance, approval, or leadership, it throws them off balance. Sigmas break the fundamental rule of dominance, that everyone either leads or follows. And that's powerful. Most people fall into a clear social structure. They either seek to rise within it or accept their place in it. Sigmas reject the entire structure. They refuse to bow, but they also refuse to compete. And this makes them unpredictable, uncontrollable, and ultimately a threat to the way alphas operate. To an alpha, power is something you fight for. But to a Sigma, power is something you carry within. And that's exactly what makes them so hard to handle. Second, Sigmas command respect without demanding it. Alphas work hard to prove their strength. They need recognition, validation, and a clear display of status. Whether through physical dominance, social influence, or sheer confidence, they make sure everyone knows who's in charge. But Sigmas, they don't ask for respect. They just get it. How? Through presence. A Sigma doesn't need to be the loudest in the room. He doesn't need to assert dominance. Instead, his calm confidence speaks for itself. When you see a Sigma male, you notice something different. He doesn't try to impress, yet people are intrigued by him. He doesn't try to dominate, yet people respect him. This is the quiet power of a man who knows himself. People are naturally drawn to those who don't seek approval. Think about it. Who seems more powerful? A man who constantly tries to prove his dominance, or a man who simply exists in his power without explanation? Alphas believe respect is earned through dominance. But when they see a Sigma getting the same, or even more, respect without fighting for it, it challenges everything they believe in. And that's what really unsettles an alpha. He sees a man who follows none of the traditional rules of power, yet holds power anyway. It's a silent kind of strength that's even more intimidating because it can't be taken away. An alpha can lose his status if he's challenged and beaten. But a Sigma, his power doesn't come from others. It comes from himself, and that makes him untouchable. That's why alphas struggle with Sigmas. They can't control them, can't dominate them, and can't figure them out. 3. Sigmas are independent, while alphas need a pack. Alphas thrive in social groups. They build teams, form alliances, and surround themselves with people who recognize their authority. Their strength comes from their pack. But sigmas, they don't need a pack. They operate alone. Not because they dislike people, but because they simply don't rely on them. This independence is something most alphas don't understand. They expect strong men to either lead or challenge them. But a sigma does neither. He doesn't need validation, doesn't seek leadership, and doesn't conform to any hierarchy. This makes an alpha uneasy. He doesn't know how to handle someone who doesn't respond to social pressure. Most people either admire an alpha or try to take his place, but a sigma just walks away. And that's what makes him truly powerful. He's not emotionally tied to status, recognition, or approval. He can walk into a room full of people, leave without saying a word, and lose nothing. That kind of detachment is intimidating because it means no one has control over him. Alphas need loyalty. They need followers, people to reinforce their status and recognize their dominance. But sigmas, they move alone, answer to no one, and live by their own rules. And when an alpha meets a man who doesn't need him, doesn't fear him, and doesn't try to be him, it's a direct challenge to everything he stands for. 4. Sigmas don't seek conflict, but they won't back down. Either alphas expect confrontation. They thrive in power struggles, competitions, and dominance battles. It's how they measure strength. But sigmas, they don't start fights. They don't feel the need to prove themselves, so they avoid unnecessary conflicts. They just don't care. This confuses alphas. Most men either submit to dominance or challenge it. But a sigma, he doesn't react at all. But here's the real difference. If a sigma is pushed, he will push back. And unlike an alpha, he won't fight for status or ego. He fights to end the problem, period. Alphas fight for power. Sigmas fight only when they have to. And when they do, they don't play games. This makes them dangerous in ways alphas can't predict. A sigma doesn't care about winning social battles, but if forced into one, he will end it decisively. And that's the last thing an alpha wants. A man who won't play by the rules, who doesn't fear losing status, and who only fights when there's no other choice. Because a man like that, he's not an opponent, he's a problem. 5. Sigmas are unpredictable, and alphas hate what they can't predict. Alphas follow a clear pattern. They dominate, they lead, and they expect resistance. Everything in their world makes sense. But sigmas, they break every rule. One day a sigma might engage. The next, he might walk away. He doesn't react to social pressure, doesn't respond to power struggles, and doesn't play the game. He's completely unpredictable. And that's what drives an alpha crazy. Alphas expect to control the situation. They expect people to challenge them or submit to them. But when they meet a sigma, they face a wild card. And in any power structure, the unpredictable man is the most dangerous one. Alphas might be strong, but they rely on predictability. They expect people to behave a certain way, and when someone doesn't, it throws them off balance. This is why sigmas are so hard for alphas to handle. They don't react the way they're supposed to. They operate on their own level, in their own world, by their own rules. And that kind of man? He's unstoppable. Sigma males don't challenge alphas. They just play a different game. They don't seek power, yet they have it. They don't follow, yet they're respected. And that's why alphas can't handle them. If this video gave you something to think about, hit subscribe and drop a like. Your support helps us create more content like this. Stay sharp.